Hey, it's Andy Sternberg from andysternberg.com here for Tech Zulu at the Indiegogo Tech Zulu Lounge at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. I'm here now with Billie Whitehouse
Hey.
from Wearable Experiments, talking about some wearable technologies today. And Wearable has a very interesting and unique one that I couldn't have even thought of if I tried to dream up a brand new wearable technology. Billie, can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are hawking here?
Absolutely. So we've developed a product for Durex as a campaign, which is vibrating knickers for couples in long-distance relationships. So we use an iPhone app, and you connect to your partner's underwear. You can then send a touch sensation in any direction you would like.
Wow. So this is very wearable, and it's controlled by the partner.
Exactly. We call it Funder from Down Under.
Oh, wow. And being an Australian company, you guys are based near Sydney, is it?
Sydney and New York at the moment.
Okay. So, let's try and get a better idea of what exactly this app and wearable underwear does.
So we've built in touch actuators. They're the same actuators built into your iPhone, and we built them into the clothes. We've made it washable, we've made it durable, and we built the garments actually out of a bamboo spandex. So it's one of the most eco-friendly products on the market. And then you connect through your app. When you've downloaded, you've got a specific code for your partner. It's not for infidelity just yet. And then you connect into certain parts of her body or his body.
So do you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network? Is it?
It's running through a Wi-Fi.
It's running through Wi-Fi, so you can't just do it when someone's in the office and someone's at home.
You have control whether you have it on or off. Yeah.
I'm sure. Have there been some pretty interesting stories that have come out of this?
Absolutely. We really did test it for a long time before we put it to the actual campaign. So I made every single family member, every single male friend, make sure I got those seams in the right spot.
Yeah. Wow. And did you guys? Are you demoing it?
We actually demoed it just an hour ago at our panel called Tech Off Your Clothes. Our hashtag was Tech It Off.
Wow.
So it was actually really entertaining. There was lots of pictures, lots of Twitter action around it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Definitely a wearable that has a lot of conversation around it and seems to be a lot different. I mean, when people think of wearable technologies nowadays, I think they think about the watches, they think about the Fitbits, they'll think about Google Glass. Not necessarily underwear, yet at least.
Well, what we really want to do at Wearable Experiments is make the technology invisible. And we want to step away from this idea that activity trackers and Google Glass are the only definition of wearable tech. We want to build wearables into how we live day to day. And day to day you put on your underwear, so why not build it into that?
That's a good point. That is a good point. That's something I do every day. And whether or not I want someone else to have control over the sensations.
This is fair enough.
But I could see where that could be a very fun campaign and lead to several other campaigns.
Well, at the moment, we're specializing in haptic feedback, which is a vibration sensor. So we're finding other uses for this as well. So we're using it for navigating around a city. So if you upload from your phone where you want to go, the jacket can then take over. It doesn't have to be a jacket, it could be other devices, but this is what we've been working on.
So kind of like you're getting warmer, you're getting colder.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a little tap on your shoulder that says when to turn left and a tap on your shoulder when to turn right, and then double time when you arrive.
I like that, and that could come in really handy when we got flying jetpacks and
exactly.
We have to really use our hands to get around.
It's more so just getting away from the screen. Like everyone's so dependent on looking at this screen, being addicted to that constant communication. This is a way to actually remove the screen and walk around the city with your eyes.
Yeah, I would. That's very interesting that you say that. So, speaking of walking around with your eyes, what do you think about Google Glass as a sort of wearable, and it's something that some people use?
I think the quote that's been going around is it looks like a Segway for your face. But I believe that the technology is really interesting and it's a step in the right direction. As a campaign, it totally repositioned their brand.
Right.
And that's amazing, and that's what wearables can do for brands. But what I want to see happen is it to be integrated into a pair of Tom Fords that's got beautiful integration and projection out so that you can see in front of you and you're not sort of distracted by this constant technology in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, the Google Glass is overtly nerdy and geeky looking. It is not. It doesn't.
Are you a glass hole?
I am not. I'd be interested in playing with it, especially as it gets more advanced and there's more apps built into it.
I think for somewhere like the medical perspective, it's really interesting. Like you're learning, you're recording, you could use it, and there's applications being built for that. I think there's, amazing applications what you could do there. But from a fashion perspective, it's very different.
So you have a fashion background.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was brought up in a design school. It's the equivalent of Parsons in Australia. And it's 25 years old, and I was carried down a catwalk at 1, and I met John Galliano when I was 5, and I just lived, eat, and breathed design.
Lived, breathed design and fashion from the age of 1. And so how does that translate into working with wearables? And
At the moment, what we're doing is just making sure that the actual device is concealed, so you don't look and feel like a computer. We're trying to make sure that the elegance and the comfort is really, really important. I think, generally fashion relates to trends. But when you think about design, it means things that can last a lot longer. You're connecting two really far-fetched ideas and creating something even better.
That's great. And so taking that fashion aspect, are you kind of focused on consumer-driven technology, or are you looking to do more things like the Durex campaign where you're doing a sort of
I think it's going to start with campaigns.
Yeah.
However, we want to solve a problem. I mean, with the jacket, we eventually see this being really effective for the vision impaired. So we want to be able to solve problems for people. If you're out there and you're not really enjoying an experience, how do you tap into your other senses to then have a different and heightened experience? And that's what we think wearables can do. Rather than it just being about the quantified self and learning about you, why not heighten the experience you're already having?
That's great. So have you seen anything at South by this year that's really blown you away? Or are you seeing any trends? I mean, wearables is something that we're talking about this year, certainly more than any other year, as we're finally seeing a lot of these products.
I think what's exciting with wearables is when we head towards more open platforms, so devices that can potentially do more than one thing. And so giving people the opportunity to play around with it, figure out what it's good for, and then giving it to the people.
Great, yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Google approach. You figure it out, and we'll make it.
It's so top down.
Yeah.
Like, let's think bottom up. That's why crowdfunding's been so interesting. I'm actually really interested in batteries at the moment. So how do you design a battery for the body? How do you shape that? What does it mean to have a battery on your body? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Do the cell shapes need to change? How do you design the battery pack? Like, that's what I think wearable designers and technologists should be thinking about as a collective, so then we can all have a better solution.
And okay, that's great. And then I could definitely see people using wearables as a way to really get a message out there and to be a utilitarian thing, which is technically what it should be. So with wearable experiments, what do you guys have? What other things do you have kind of in the pipeline going forward?
We do have a new product that we're about to launch, literally midnight tonight, and it's super exciting. It's using some real live data as well as a wearable device as well as an application. So we specialize in the hardware, the software, and the apparel, and we've turned this around in 3 months.
Wow, exciting! So you have a lot of your own technology going into this.
Yes.
And how big is your team?
Team is about 10 people, but we obviously contract out when we're developing on a larger scale. This is a 4,000 unit job.
Great. And can we go and get some of these wearable underwear, some of these vibrating underwears? And
Not at the moment. It was just a campaign.
Okay.
We have several prototypes here, so you potentially could try them if you really wanted to. But at the moment, it's just a campaign. But we're negotiating the next phases. So it's going to be a really, really exciting year for us.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, in every sense of the word.
Absolutely. Well, yes. Oh, we have a great question from the audience. What is the biggest technological hurdle facing wearables?
I genuinely think the biggest technological hurdle from our company's perspective is getting the timelines of two manufacturing industries to meet. But at the same time, I do think chargeability is really, really important. I think you've really got to think about how we intuitively charge our devices. No one wants to plug in another product at night. We already do that. We've already got our iPad, our mobile, our computer, our Fitbit. We want to actually intuitively charge our products. So what we're planning to do for our jacket is build an induction coat hanger. So that you naturally put up your jacket on a coat hanger when you get to the end of the day. Why not just do that to charge it?
And are you wearing one of your wearables right now?
I am indeed. And we've been using it around Austin today. We've got a male set and a female set. And we do plan to do a crowdfunding campaign later this year.
Well, that's exciting. Very exciting. So we'll keep an eye out. How can we keep an eye out on you guys?
We're at Wearable X, and it's a capital X.
At Wearable X on Twitter. Thank you very much. Were there any other questions out there? No. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Billie, here in the Indiegogo Tech Zulu Lounge. We got a full afternoon of programming going on, so please stick with us. And
Thanks.
Thank you very much.